Hey everybody, Andy Stickel here. I talk to lawyers all the time who say it's very difficult to get testimonials from clients. And the problem is that testimonials are extremely important. So if you don't get testimonials, then it's going to be very, very difficult to run your law firm and be extremely successful. But if you can figure out some ways to get some really good client testimonials, then you can do really well, and it works really, really well for social proof on your website, and there's a lot of different things you can do with them. So one of the challenges is that you try to get clients to record video testimonials so you can put them on your website, and the testimonials are usually not very good. They're usually pretty crappy. So the way that I get clients to give me really high quality testimonials is I kind of take matters into my own hands. And I actually work with them to film a video myself. So what I do is I use the software Zoom. That's zoom.us. That's the website. And you can actually do a video chat with them using either their phone or they can do their computer or tablet or whatever. And you can actually talk to them and almost like interview the client. Now, when you interview the client, there's some very specific questions that you should ask them. And using these questions, you can actually generate a really good review. And I'm actually about to do a client testimonial with a client of my company, Social Firestarter. So I figured I'd show you kind of behind the scenes of how this testimonial, or how I do these testimonials, how I get these reviews. And I'm going to tell you what the questions are that I ask that allows me to kind of take the clients down the journey that ends up giving a really good testimonial. So there's 4 questions that you really want to focus on. The first question, and again, you don't have to ask these specifically, but basically what you want to do is you want to get the answer to this question. So you essentially, you don't have to word exactly how I'm wording it, but the general idea of the question, or the spirit of the question, I guess you would say, is what you really want to focus on. So the first one is, and these are the questions, I'm just going to tell you the questions that I have written down here. So my marketing agency is called Social Firestarter. The first question I have is, what was the problem that you had before you hired Social Firestarter? Now, the reason I ask this question is because most lawyers have done a ton of different marketing. They've tried AdWords, they tried social media, they tried all the different things, and usually they came to us because the other stuff didn't work. So I want to kind of establish the base of what they were doing before. So with you want to kind of talk about, what was the problem you had before you came to our law firm? The next thing is, why did you choose my company specifically over any other company? What you want to do is you want them to talk about what made your law firm different. What I want to do is I want them to talk about what made my marketing agency different from all the other options out there, because obviously they have a lot of options that they can choose from. But I want to hear in their own words why they chose me, and you want to hear in their own words why they chose you. The next question that I have on my list is, as a result of hiring Social Firestarter, what was the outcome? So what you want to do is you want to find out what were the results that you were able to get the client. So for me, like maybe they got more cases, more revenue. The client that I'm about to interview, I happen to know that he got 100 more cases year over year as a result of hiring Social Firestarter. He's a personal injury attorney, so that's obviously a pretty big increase for him. So I want to hear him talk about that in his own words. And then the last question is, how has your life and law firm changed since achieving this outcome? Now, what you'll ask them is, how has your life changed since we achieved the outcome for you? So the outcome is great. Maybe you got them a really big settlement, but what does that big settlement mean for them? What can they do now that they couldn't do before? Or maybe, you help them, escape an abusive relationship, or maybe you help them, step parent adoption, or maybe you got some criminal charges thrown out. Whatever it is, how has the outcome that you got them, how has that affected them in life, and how has that improved their life moving forward? So now, without further ado, I'm going to hop into, I'm going to let you actually see behind the scenes how I conduct these interviews, and you can see how I kind of work these questions into the conversation that we have. So check it out. Before you hired us, what was the main problem that you had with attracting new leads and new cases to your law firm? What was the biggest problem?
The primary problem that we had is coming up with a cohesive marketing plan that worked together in a seamless fashion. We were really hit and miss. Just like most lawyers, we would try everything. There isn't anything that we wouldn't attempt to do. And so we had a varied array of marketing efforts, from print ads to online ads. We needed to come up with a cohesive marketing plan that would systematize our marketing for personal injury and using the internet to do so, because obviously that is the major place where we're going to find most of our referral sources. So we had tried a sundry of online marketing efforts, all of which we had a mixed bag of performance. But as you can see from our performance numbers, for our small little law firm located on the south side of Indianapolis, we were kind of consistently just bobbing along with leads from our Google organic searches. It wasn't until we hired Social Firestarter to really take a hard look at our SEO and optimizing our website that we noticed pretty quickly a 30% increase on our organic Google traffic. I had used other SEO services in the past. Everybody who could assure me that they were Google partners and they were going to put me on the first page of Google. And it all seems like everybody had a trick and nobody really performed. And this was the first time that I could spot a direct impact of about a 30% increase in our organic traffic.
Awesome. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, you've been with other SEO companies before, other internet marketing. You've tried a lot of things, obviously. What made you choose us? What made you choose Social Firestarter over, all the other options out there? Because there's a ton of options.
Yeah, actually, that's very simple, Andy. The transparency that Social Firestarter brought to the process when we were first interviewing you and deciding if you were going to be the right fit for us. If you recall, you did a web share with us where you drilled right into our website and were able to demonstrate to us on the spot things that you would materially change in how our website was laid out and how we were interacting with the Google interface from our website to help draw traffic to us. And that transparency gave us a great level of confidence, not only who we were hiring, but what service you were going to provide to us.
Now, as a result of the work that we did, we made all those changes that I showed you, and we did much, much more. But now I know you showed me that chart of leads, but you gave me a pretty amazing number in terms of actual real cases that you got from the time you hired us compared to the previous year. So can you tell me a little bit about maybe what the result of the marketing that we did for you was in terms of real cases?
Well, sure. I mean, it's actually a very simple comparison. You'll notice that we started with you in March of 2019, and by June we noticed this beginning incline of our Google organic traffic. 2018, we opened up 300 new files, just a little over 300 new files. In 2019, commencing in March, running through, we opened up over 400 files. So we had actually a 30% increase in our new case openings, which coincides with a little bit better than 30% increase in the Google organic traffic. We can directly show that since we hired Social Firestarter, we have a 30% increase in our incoming cases.
Awesome. Now, as a result of the growth of your firm and things like that, you were able to do something pretty cool. How has your life changed now that you've built up the value of the firm? Some cool things have happened. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Well, I've been practicing law for 25 years. My plan has always been that I was going to transition from being a litigator in both personal injury and employment law to moving into a full-time mediator position where I can work with attorneys and parties to find resolution to their cases. Because of the upswelling of the cases that came through, one of my lawyers was in a position where he could take over responsibility for the firm. And so late in 2019, he approached me and we were able to come with an arrangement where he's actually purchased my law firm from me and taken over command and control of our practice here, which has freed me up the ability to go build my mediation practice, which in 2020 is what I'm going to be doing while I'm still here and active in the law firm itself and still a named partner in the law firm. I'm focusing more full-time on mediation, which is what I envision doing from now until whatever age I decide to actually retire.
So let me ask you this. now that you've sold your law firm, you're moving into mediation, which is kind of more what you wanted to do. How is that affecting your life? Maybe not even necessarily as a lawyer, but just kind of, as you progress through life, what can you do now that you couldn't do before, or maybe what are you doing now that's different that you wanted to be doing this whole time?
When you move from attorney and advocate to mediator, you become somebody who's focused on reconciliation between the parties and finding peace and resolution. What it's enabling me to do is to have a less stressful practice where I am working with attorneys who've been colleagues and friends for 25 years to help them resolve cases to the betterment of their clients and themselves. But at the end of the day, I go home and don't have a deadline to worry about the next day. I don't have demanding clients who want to reach me at all hours of the days and nights anymore. And so it's created a calmer, gentler existence for me and my family. I have a little bit more of an open schedule now. So my wife and I are starting to travel a little bit more, spending a little bit more time with our children who are getting ready to begin their adult lives as they're finishing up college, and we're having some more quality time with family. But really, giving the slower pace and the less demanding schedule and needs of a mediation practice, it's allowing me to have a professional existence that I know I can maintain, as well as maintain a quality of life and health, probably well past the age of 70. God willing that I live that long. What I can tell you is this: over 25 years, I've tried just about everything. I've run billboards. I've been on radio. I've been on TV. We've run print ads and all kinds of online marketing, pay-per-click, you name it. We've tried it. And I can safely say without any hesitation that I have wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars in attempting marketing with people who have provided all kinds of representations and guarantees. I think what you should do if you are considering hiring Social Firestarter is ask them the hard questions and ask them to show you, what are you going to do? Tell me what the program is. They will pull back the curtain and show you the inner workings of what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. One of the most impressive things that I've had in my experience with Social Firestarter is the almost immediate responsiveness that I've had to any inquiries or questions that I've need to throw at them about anything. It may not be the same day I hear back, but it'll be within 2 days. And just getting that live, real-time response back to a question is a breath of fresh air in the marketing world. And so, ask them tough questions and they'll answer them. It's just that simple. And if all companies would approach their service that they're delivering to their clients in the marketing world, it would be a much better place and a much easier existence for a lawyer to maintain. I've recommended Social Firestarter to other lawyers who are not in my practice area. I've recommended Social Firestarter to lawyers in my practice areas in other states. It certainly has done well for us, and I couldn't be more pleased because I can see hard graphics and show exact numbers of when we hired them and what the response was in our marketing production.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's
sorry I got long-winded there, but
oh no, it's perfect. No, seriously. And seriously, congratulations with everything. These numbers are really amazing, and it's awesome that you were able to transition into the next phase of your career. That's awesome.